After such an enlightening session, you were make me nervous. Anyways, knock knock, who's there? We've got to hear this, I mean, time and again since our childhood. There was a game, knock knock, who's there? It's me. And then there were all sorts of options to it, and then answers to it, and the kids used to play to it. And again, so I repeat it, knock knock, who's there? It's me. Opportunity. A very good afternoon to all the lovely audience present here, especially to the able persons and the speakers who have sandwiched me in between and making me much more full of goosebumps. Opportunity, to be literally understood, is a time or a set of instances that makes it possible to do something. Three keywords that we've been facing right now: the time, the set of instances, and that particular something. What is more important is the third part, the something part, because it's also been said that it knocks, the opportunity part knocks at your door only once. What if you miss it? What happens? Does it come back to you? Number one. If it doesn't, where does it go? Secondly. Thirdly, if you didn't open the door, probably it wasn't for you. And finally, if you were unable to open the door, then definitely it's there somewhere outside. And since it has been assumed that the opportunity keeps on knocking at your door or every door, then the number of doors is directly proportional to the number of opportunities existing outside. So go out, open the door, find out an opportunity which probably you must have missed, or the opportunity which somebody else has missed, and it may come back to you, because as some philosophers have said, why wait for the opportunity? Create one by yourself, right? A famous adage goes by where number of set of instructions have been given out, no set formula for that, no set theory for that, but guidelines given by number of people who have been successful in life by encountering a number of failures, by enlisting a number of failures, and by assessing a number of failures. So a set of rules cannot be defined, but we can have some idea about how we can go about it. First is knowing your limits. Limits? Are there any set limits for any human being? No, I don't think so, because limits is how you assess yourself to any particular situation. Identify your own existence, your presence, your knowledge, your experience, your aptitude, your attitude, and then identify what else can be done as per your own set of experiences. Then open your eyes, because as I already said, if you missed your experience, your opportunity, it is definitely floating there outside. Go out, grab it, open your eyes, find out an opportunity that suits you, and then grab it by the neck, pull it back, you are mine. Meet new people, because that is the way when you can get a lot of sharing of ideas. There are a number of platforms, technical platforms, the professional platforms like LinkedIn, you get on Facebook, you go on Twitter, you can blog, you can have a number of set of people who can interact with to get a number of ideas more, which can help you give the opportunities. Exploration is one part of opportunities which will give you more insights. Then don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to show that you don't know a lot about a particular aspect, right? Then build self-confidence, because self-confidence, one of the keys to success. People who have been successful in life have always been, as ma'am said, they have been high on IQ and high on OQ, and the particular blend of that give you GS, that is the guaranteed success, right? So keep learning, because your age and your profession and your position can never be an hindrance in your learning process. Keep learning. The world is open for you. There are a number of instances that can give you a number of insights. It all ends in doing, because if you keep sitting on a chair and watching TV, you will not be able to get anything out of it. So you have to go out and get something done. Get out, feel, see, get your life, understand what it is all about, and get the options to get you suitable. We see opportunities as difficulties initially. The people who are successful in life usually have seen difficulties as opportunities and enhance them to suit themselves better. For example, people who have been successful in life, taking the example of the Dabbawalas of Maharashtra, a very fit case for getting opportunities when not even one single opportunity existed. Then we have a case of Sir Warren Buffett. He started becoming an investor at the age of 11, I suppose. We have investment experts here. And now we know what he is and right now what he is doing right now. And there are many ways to create your opportunities. We can have, as I said, not a definite set of formula or instances, but it's based only on your experiences, how you assess the situations that you are in at a particular point of time. Understand who you are, that is, as I already said, your own strengths, your weaknesses, your analysis part. Believe in what you offer, step out of your comfort zone, remain open and create good karma, and ultimately take your own decisions. Lucky people, it's already been said, lucky people get opportunities, brave people create it, and winners are those who create opportunities out of their difficulties. Bruce Lee, we all have heard of him, most successful in his field of acting, most successful as an entrepreneur, most successful in the field of martial arts, and whatever he did, he excelled. He said, to hell with circumstances, I create opportunities. And this is where we are getting up to, create opportunities. I was reading a book, a Roman philosopher by the name of Seneca. Later it was quoted by Oprah Winfrey as well. Luck happens when opportunity means preparation. That means you will only be lucky if you are prepared to get that piece of opportunity for oneself. If you are not prepared, the opportunity will come, it will knock at your door and move away if you are not prepared to open it and welcome. Right? The Dabbawalas and the Warren Buffett has already been discussed. The leap of faith, it's a phrase which has been doing in the management circles. It goes by start doing instead of just talking about it. So, we are currently stuck up in the crab mentality. We know how crabs are transferred from one place to another. They are transferred from one place to another in open containers. They don't need lids to cover them, because they have a mentality, if one crab starts crawling up, the other one pulls it down at the one it reaches the brink. And when the other starts crawling up, the first one or the other ones, the group, they start pulling it down. So, it is safe to transport crabs in an open container because they have their mentality pulling each other down. We are also living in the same rut where the crab mentality says that if I can't have it, neither can you. If I can't do it, neither can you. If I can't be successful, neither can you. If I don't get the bigger picture, neither can you. Then we've also heard the theory about the water and the boiling water and the frog. It has been studied by many researchers that if you put a frog in a boiling container of water, it immediately jumps out, because they are cold-blooded animals and they don't adjust to the atmospheric temperature. Their body temperature adjusts according to what is going on inside the outside temperature. So, if you put a frog in initially boiling water, it initially jumps out. But if you put it in a container and start heating the pot, it keeps on swimming leisurely and leisurely and leisurely. The temperature keeps rising, it keeps on swimming, the temperature keeps rising, it keeps on swimming, till at one point of time when the temperature of the water is so hot, the frog is unable to maintain the temperature and it ultimately perishes in it. So, that is why we should keep identifying our circumstances, the ambience that we are working it, and we should not be in that frog in the boiling water like of situation. When I was in one of my corporate organizations in the initial period of my job, my director of operations, who was my reporting officer, he was my mentor and guide as well. He always used to think out of the box, the lateral thinking, de Bono method. So, he called me one day. I mean, the company was at its peril almost in the late 90s or early 2000s. They were doing a target of around 250 crores per annual turnover, which was good enough at that point of time. So, he called me one day and he just passed a book to me, the same book by Dr. Spencer Johnson, Who Moved My Cheese, and I've keeping on recommending it to whoever I find to be benefited in the corporate sector. This book, it was a life changer in fact, because this was a story about some rats who were living in a building and they had some amount of cheese in the storeroom. Rats and cheese, they blend. That's the only food they like, love. We see it in the cartoons of Tom and Jerry as well. So, number of rats, number of traits of the rats, all rats were different. We can identify to the human personalities as well. As the time progressed, the amount of cheese started reducing, obviously. It was being consumed by the whole family of rats. There were few rats who sniffed the change. There were few rats who sensed the change. There were few rats who identified the change, adopted to it, grabbed opportunities that were available, and there were few rats who stayed back and perished when the cheese perished because there was no way to go out. So, this is the time when we should identify our own personalities and correlate it to the personalities of Sniff, Scurry, Haw and Hem. As I already said, the identification of your own properties, your own traits can be done by SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, which can be very instrumental as per your ambience, what can be fruitful for you, what can suit you, what can benefit you, and who you can utilize for your own upliftment and as an opportunity. There can be a number of habits which can be helpful in your developments of the opportunities and gathering them. We can count on them, we can identify them by paying attention to whatever is around us, by thinking work is important, by identifying the potential of each, imagining opportunities everywhere, wherever you look, by making yourself a magnet, count and record the opportunities, and then decide. If opportunity doesn't knock, as I had already said, build a door. This was said by Merlin Burl, and ultimately I close my session by knock knock, who's there? Thank you all.